My name is Shruti Vijayakumar. I live in the beautiful New Zealand. I work as an educator, an innovator, a coach. It's quite hard to describe at times. And for me, an impactful career is really using the skills and resources I have in this moment to serve society in the best way possible. So I think many of us are extremely privileged in our society. I myself, I grew up in New Zealand with an amazing education, a safe and stable government, a supportive family. And I really feel that the skills, resources, opportunities, networks we have must now be used to give back to society in some way. We've been gifted these amazing tools, and I feel a sense of duty and responsibility to use what I have to, at least in some way, contribute positively to the lives of others. So it's one thing to want to contribute to society. I think all of us want to give back and it feels really good, but it's equally important to question and understand where that's coming from and what motivates that. And at times in my life, I felt the guilt of privilege, and that's motivated me. I felt the weight of, I need to make an impact, and that's not so healthy. There was a point in my life where I was working for an education startup in India, and we worked 7 days a week. We lived together. I never took time off, and I was so enamored with the idea of changing the world through education, which of course is a beautiful thought, but really came from kind of an egoistic place of, I'm making such a big difference and the world needs this. And I think we really need to take time to understand who we are, what motivates us, and to question, is this really what I want motivating me? My first job out of undergraduate education was working for a big consulting firm, which people around me perceived as very successful. My parents were proud. I was financially really secure, living in these 5-star hotels and fine dining all the time. And whilst to society this seemed really great, internally the work really was quite tough. I became more insecure. I became more worried about what people thought of me the longer I was there. And I became quite an unhealthy and unhappy person. Now, doesn't mean consulting is not good. It just wasn't the right fit for me. And probably for a period of time, the learning was right. But there was a point, probably 2 years in, where I worked my first 24-hour day. And really, that was what snapped me out to start questioning, what is it that I really want to do and how do I want to contribute? I think if you're feeling really dissatisfied in your career, it's often hard when you're in it to step back and question. And that's when taking time off is really key, is really making time to be still and to integrate stillness with ambition. I'm someone who wants to contribute and use all my talents to my fullest potential, but I know in order to do that, I can't always be rushing, filling my calendar, meeting a ton of people and doing a ton of projects. I used to be very busy, go, and feel validated by ticking things off my to-do list and looking at my busy calendar. But now I realize actually some of the most valuable pieces of time is the hour I spend in the morning meditating, chanting, setting an intention for the day. It's the walk in nature, it's taking time out to play music, or just be with a friend, or to dance and play. And it's this time of stillness, of doing something without really a goal or an intention, of really being quiet so that the mind can calm down, that the tumultuous lake can calm, so I can actually see with clarity and see with creativity and see with wisdom what it is that really matters to me and how I should move forward. One of my favorite analogies around being is that of a ship. So they say if a ship is heading toward a certain destination and it shifts course by even 1 degree, the final destination miles down will be totally different. And for me, taking time out to be and to be still and to meditate is me checking my course. And daily I feel like I'm making little course corrections that may not show up in big ways now, but down the track I'm sure will have huge impacts on my life. And I can see the small decisions I've made 5 or 10 years ago have had significant impacts now. And I'm doing things and living a life that I never imagined I thought I would. So being certainly is a key part and a valuable part of my daily life. So one type of thinking and reflection that I find really valuable is a daily practice. So every evening for anywhere between 10 minutes and half an hour, I'll sit down and reflect on the day, how I'm tracking on goals, what went well, what moved me, what struck me, what confused me, what left me feeling unpleasant emotions. And this constant reflection gives me a chance to really better understand myself first and foremost, and better understand what it is about me that needs to change to better do the work I want to do and have the impact I want to have. And knowledge of self, I think, is one of the most important forms of knowledge that helps us really have an impactful career. So having some kind of practice, whether it's daily reflection or working with a coach or having some method to really learn and understand yourself better, I think is really key. The second type of reflection that I think is really important is to understand the systems or the areas in which you want to have an impact. So if you want to improve education or the environment, for example, How do you understand the different people that are involved in that? Teachers, students, parents, government. How do you understand what's important to them and how they see the system? Each one of us has our perspective or way we view a system, a sector, and we often think our perspective is the truth or the reality. But in reality, there's thousands of different perspectives, and each one of us carries our own view based on our experiences, our beliefs, our childhood, and so forth. So the more we can let go of our views and not hold on so tightly to me being right and this is what I think, and really welcome in new perspectives and see the world or the situation or the sector we want to impact from new perspectives, that will give us a more holistic view, a holistic understanding, and help us see more clearly and also where we can have the most impact. It's, following or shadowing or talking to people that are working in the sector or the system that you want to influence and really welcoming and journeying with others. I think, you can go fast if you can go alone, but you can go far if we go together. So really approaching your career with others, learning with others, as well as reflecting on oneself is really key. An approach I found really useful in navigating a career and impact is experimenting and trying different things. Many of the paths we're taking haven't been walked before, and there isn't a right path or a way to go about it. So in my own case of working in kind of the worlds of sustainability and leadership and business, I've really enjoyed, on one hand, teaching students, on one hand, engaging with corporates through consulting, doing a bit of one-on-one coaching work, running a social enterprise accelerator. And through each of these experiences, I learn a little bit more about what's effective, where there's energy in the market or from others, and what I'm really good at. So through this process of experimentation, not only do I learn more about myself and what I'm good at and what brings me energy, but equally, I learn more about the system I want to influence and the most effective way to go about and do that. I think many of us are so busy climbing the ladder that we get to the top and then realize it's leaning against the wrong building. It's easy to take action and just follow the path that everyone follows, but it takes a lot more intention and clarity and courage to do what's different and to do what's true to you. So I think one of the most important things in taking action is really to be aligned and clear as to what it is that's true for you, not what your parents want, not what society wants, not what your friends are doing. And with that clarity, to have the courage to move in a direction that often may not be the direction everyone else is moving in.